Hey, ladies and gents, we are back with some Avorion, and I've had multiple questions about this, and I've been kind of waiting to do this because I wanted to fully develop this, but we're going to do building this empire, right? To build the economic engine that's going to get you this game. People are always asking me, why do I got so much money? Now, I've spent that 853 million 10 times over already. The reason why is because, or why do I get, why is that money, is because there's a couple different ways to make money in this game. One's the passive and one's the active way to make money. However, before I get into that, I'll do a real quick trick here. Now, I have a lot of hours into this game, not a lot of hours that I've actually played in the game. So you're sitting here at the computer, wife tells you to take the trash out, do the dishes, come downstairs, you haven't spent any time with me, let's watch a rom-com, another shitty rom-com for another 2 or 3 hours. While I'm doing all this stuff that I'm not here at the video game playing, this game is still running. I think I have 200 hours into this game. I've probably only actually played 100 hours, maybe a little less than that. Most of it has been just letting the game run. How do you do that without worrying about it, or worry about getting blown up? Is that, alright, I'm in my very first sector. This is where I spawned into the game when I started. You can jump into the sector at any time by clicking on it. If I was out of here, it'll say jump back into probe. You can come back to the sector any time in the game. If you're blown up at any time in this game, you will respawn here in a probe. Okay? As long as you're not in any one of these sectors personally, anything that you got running that's a mine or a ship or anything, as long as you're not in any of those sectors, pirates will not attack you. Or Zotan, or nobody screw with any of your ships. So what you do is you come back to this sector here, you go into your probe, this guy right here, and I usually just tuck it up against a station right here. And this system has defense frigates and all that kind of stuff. And I just leave. I walk away, and I just let it run. That's going to help the passive part of it. You know, I'm gone for 2, 3, maybe 4, 5 hours, whatever. 100 million credits because of the passive income. If this probe gets destroyed, guess what? It just respawns in the sector, and it'll continue to respawn over and over again, and it'll continue to make money. If you don't want to do the probe thing, you can use a satellite suppressor, which is 10 hours. Jump into a system, set up the satellite suppressor, move your ship away from everything 50, 100 kilometers away. Just let it sit and run. 10 hours, that suppressor will make sure none of the pirates and none of the baddies jump in to screw with you. There's a quick little trick, or tip, I guess you want to call it. If you want to just let it run. I mean, you're not losing anything. As long as you're not in a sector with something valuable, there will be no activity in that sector. So with that said, let's get back to the active versus passive. Now, earlier, you've seen my the pirate videos. If you haven't seen it, I keep forgetting people don't always watch this in order. So some of you might not have seen the pirate videos and all that kind of stuff. Early game, when you first start out, you're doing what they call the essentially active money making. You're fighting pirates. You're collecting loot. You're selling asteroids. You're doing all that stuff actively in your ship. Eventually, when you get up to the Neonite regions, you get my preference is pirating, of course. Neonite, get shields. You come back to your very beginning area where they don't have shields and everybody's really low HP, but you have shields. You pirate everything. You get to a sector, you pirate it, take the loot, sell it, and you just keep doing that over and over again. Or you can do the trade routes. You know, where you go to station, trading routes, selling, whatever. It's all active, right? You're going doing all it. Problem with the active is it takes a lot of time. The best way, of course, is the passive. In my opinion, once you get your first seed money, as I call it, we're talking the first 20 million credits or whatever, which isn't too hard if you're doing the pirating thing. You're talking 4 or 5 good raids, and you're up to 20 million plus. You're taking the 20 million plus, and you're starting to invest in mines. When I'm talking about mines, you're talking about aluminum, zinc, ore, some of the higher end stuff. Those all do about 3,000 to 4,000 a cycle. Now, here's the real kicker, though. You have to be able to find the high-end trading system. And what I mean by the high-end trading system is anything above the yellow. You need to find something that's in the... Do I have one available? I don't. No, I do have a red one, though, or a couple red ones. Salesman's trading system. You want to find one that's at least exceptional. What that exceptional one does And of course, what the red one does is it gives you economy overview. Where you see it says economy over the overview. That lets you know what the supply and demand is on your map. So once you start making your credits, you want to try to get that system. It's a very important system for building the passive income. You get the system. Once you find the system, then you can start setting up mines. Anytime you have money laying around, if you have, once you get to that 20 million, I always like to have like about a 5 to 10 million over that. So if a mine costs you 14 million, you want to be 20 to 24 million credits. So you always have to have a little bit extra money. You build that up. You take that and you start going and using your salesman's chip to find the supply, or the salesman system, start finding the supply and demand, specifically asteroids. Why? Asteroids are super easy. You don't spend any more money than just setting up a mine. As you jump in, claim the asteroid, turn it into a mine, and leave it. Just go away from it, just let it run. You do that multiple times. I think I have something like 30, actually no, not 30. I probably have 20 mines running right now. Wherever I found a plus 30% for the supply and demand, I laid a mine down. Now the great thing about mines is also remember is use them as for diplomacy. I seed mines in factions that I think I'm going to possibly be friendly. For example, this allied, I started seeding mines here before I even started working on the alliance. What it does is it just generates good diplomacy. This one down here was another one. Yeah, I'm still generating. It's doing it. It's doing its job. Same way with this side over here. I've seeded mines over here because I want access to their turret factories. So I just pop a couple quick mines down, and they get me up to the good status, so I'm able to use that. So use your mines not just for the passive, but also for the diplo. I'm also doing it here in the center of the galaxy already. Once you get to the mines, then you want to start going into the higher end factories. Now, don't go into like building mining robot factories where I've never found any place where anything above 15% supply and demand, and they're super expensive. We're talking 200 million credits to build them. I usually do advanced ones, processors and med supplies. Remember the video about the pirate bases? Those are great ones to take. Watch your supply and demand. Find one where you got a 15-20% on a med supplies. Take the pirate shipyard, turn it into a med supplies at half cost. Simple. Same with processors. Processors are a really good one too. Those two are my usually favorite ones I like to use, and they seem like they're usually in high demand. Once again, it all depends on the game. Some games are probably going to be, bigger for the fusion generators. Whatever. Just to pay attention to the supply and demand. You want that plus 20% as much as possible when you're laying down in a factory. You can do the steel. Steel, water are usually pretty good ones because they seem like everywhere I go, that's what everybody wants. Price, cost-wise and stuff, it takes a little while to build those up. But when I'm talking about that earlier trick where I just leave it, that's where it builds the cash for you. Pretty simple, right? So yeah, that's essentially my mindset when I do the first part of the economy, or my economic engine for my empire, is getting that passive income going, letting it run, build the income up, that kind of stuff. I'm still trading, I'm still pirating as I'm doing that as well. But I'm doing that not quite as much anymore. Now I'm allowed. Now that passive income frees me up to go out and explore, do that kind of stuff. But yeah, you want to get that passive income running as quick as possible, because once you get into the barrier, into here, things start to cost a lot more. We're talking the turrets. You guys give me shit about that. That's my accent. Sorry. These in here, the weapons are going to cost hundreds of millions of credits. So you really need to get as much income, or this passive income, running as quick as possible. Not quick as possible. This game is a long game. Nothing about it is quick. It's not like the old days when you could go into a system, make billions pirating a system, and go from outside edge to the center of the galaxy, blow up in under, easily under 100 hours. Maybe 50 to 75 hours, but you can make so much. But they've slowed the game down, so the progress is slower. But hey, that's my thing. So passive income, I prefer the passive income as much as possible. Create the mines, create the factories. We're just going to do a quick overview, and just keep doing the pirating and the trading when you get a chance. Okay, with that said, guys, you guys have a good night, and thanks for watching.